Yeah, guys. So if anyone asks me ever, like if they just came up to me and said, if you could live in one country for the rest of your life, what would it be? For me, it would probably be Mexico, by far. I mean, it's close between Mexico and Brazil, but I'd choose Mexico because the people. I'm missing I'm in Brazil right now, and I'm missing Mexico so much. I really wish I could go back and just do all the things I could do it. Because Brazil, like Mexico, it has unlimited options. You know, you can go to a beach, you can go to each state you go to is like completely different. You can enjoy the beaches. You have architecture. You have beautiful people. You have great food. You know, you've the three pillars. You know, food, women, and nature. No, probably not in that order. Nature, food, and women. So yeah. And like I don't like Brazilians. I know a lot of people really love Brazilian women. Like I just don't find them that attractive. I never saw the appeal. But Mexico is kind of has more my type, and more European type. Like you can find stunners in Mexico if you know where to look. But Brazil, like I don't know, like it's a lot of Brazil is famous for like the big boobs and the big bums. But in Mexico, you can find some European types. My type is more European, more slim type, and you can find those in Mexico if you know where to look. And also, you can anytime you can go. You want to go to the beach. They have beaches all around. It's just unlimited options, like Brazil as well. But the number one thing about Mexico is that Brazil doesn't have. You feel at home, like you see pictures of Rio de Janeiro and you see all these pictures of Brazil and you think, oh my God, that looks so beautiful. The looks, and you see all the beaches, but you don't feel the energy. I know that sounds kind of weird, but maybe it's the people. Like, see that lovely girl there. She's just so cute. The way she just came in a wave. She was even just so cuddly, you know. And they all have that energy, that all warm kind of energy. Whereas in Brazil, you can't relax that much. People, they're always like crazy or on the go, or they drink like 8 coffees a day, so they're always like full of high energy, and you can't relax or feel at home there. Like a lot of people in Brazil will tell you, it's not a good place to live. It's a good place to visit, you know, in Rio for like short adventures in the beach. But I could live in Mexico. It feels like home. It just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It feels like, I know Mexicans are gonna really get really offended by this. But it feels like a bit like USA. I don't know. It's like that same kind of feeling, the homely feeling. Maybe it's me because I'm white. I don't know. But and it's close to Mexico. It's like USA's next door neighbor. Don't take, if you're Mexican watching that getting offended, don't take it as offense, because it's. I mean, you can't relax. You can relax in Mexico. You have a homely, spiritual kind of vibe, and I love that. Whereas in Brazil, you can't relax that much. You cannot feel at home and set yourself up there. But you can go traveling around Mexico, and then you can come back to your apartment. You can feel at ease. You can relax. You don't have to be. Obviously, there's some dangers with the C word, but it's just a different type of vibe. I remember I got off the airport. As soon as I arrived from USA, I arrived at the airport for my first time in Mexico City, and I was just like, because I'm used to Latin American countries being like everyone like always on edge, everyone like there's so many rules about everything, and everyone like, especially being a gringo, you people look at you and stare at you. They do in Mexico as well, but just the energy. I was in the airport thinking, it's so chill. The energy is just like so relaxing. Like, you see this nice girl there, she's just chill and relaxing, and it's whereas in Brazil, you kind of even approaching people, you have this on edge kind of feeling. A lot of them are really high strung, especially in cities like Rio de Janeiro, and the on the go places, the touristy places, or the downtown where I am now. But yeah, I'm really missing Mexico. But yeah, it's really, I don't want people to ruin it though. I don't want people going there and ruin it and giving us gringos a bad name, because they judge us all by one bad apple. But yeah, if you know where to go, it has unlimited options. Whereas in Paraguay and Buenos Aires and Argentina and Peru, you have limited options. You know, you don't have many great beaches. You don't have many architecture or sightseeing to do. But each state in Mexico is like being in a different country. Like Brazil, each state is completely different. It's like a different country. And if you get bored or sick of one place, you think, like me in Guadalajara, I found it really paranoid. It's really classist, and I got a lot of hate there for being white. But then I went to Guadalajara, and I was like, oh, I wish I came here a long time ago. 'Cause it's so much better. And then if you get sick of there, if you want to go somewhere where they accept whites in Monterey, I was like, oh, I wish I came here a long time ago, because it's really, yeah, like you can, and I mean, you can find, like, she looks more kind of European as well, like she has like white skin, so you can find all types here, all types. Whereas in Brazil, if you walk along Copacabana, it's mostly African, indigenous kind of mix. But here you can find all types, like all around Mexico. Yeah, and if you get bored of one place, if you find you're not liked in one place, like I wasn't liked that much in Guanajuato, because I had people shouting me down the streets. They said, "F you, gringo." They literally shouted it, "F you, gringo." They have a bit of, that's one of the bad sides. They have a bit of gringo hate, especially now with the Trump deporting people. So you got to be careful about that. So I'm glad I wasn't there during that time. But yeah, if you feel that way, then you can just think, oh, I'll go to Playa del Carmen, I'll go to Guadalajara, and it's like, wow, it's completely different here. It was like I thought I was in LA. I had a different. Guadalajara was like LA. I've never been to LA, but that's what I imagine LA would be like. Everyone was hippies and is biking and skateboarding everywhere, and everyone was so open-minded. Whereas a lot of places there, they have police everywhere, and it makes a lot of places are very paranoid. They only care about what people think, which is a big waste. And they do stick together a bit of some of them, and they do have a bit of gringo hate. Not all of them, but you can find, if you meet someone more whitish, if you go to a different place like San Miguel de Allende, and if you're a foreigner there, you'll fall in love with it. I fell in love with San Miguel de Allende. That was like where all the rich Americans go to there. So I went there and I talked to some Americans, some Canadians, and I met a beautiful girl from Monterey, and I was like, okay, I've got to go to Monterey, because she was stunning. She was like a model, white skin, and my type of woman, and she was, okay, I've got to go there, but I didn't have a chance. But that's the thing, if you get bored of one place, and then you have Morelia, which is a secret gem. You've got to go to Morelia. That's where I had a girl in Morelia, and had a girl in, my main girl was in Morelia. She was like, really spiritual kind of place, much more chill, historical place, and you don't have much gringos, so you can stand out there. But yeah, the best places, I think some of the best places besides Guadalajara, I think Guadalajara is number one. Some of the best places are the unknown kind of areas, like Leon, where they don't get much foreigners, but they have a kind of whitish European blood there, and so they love it when they see a foreigner. So yeah, you gotta test the ground. But Guanajato's a bit paranoid and a bit hate people coming there, because it's really Mexican, indigenous, that kind of place. But Leon, right next door, is really amazing for me, and beautiful people, beautiful women. I just wish I spent more time there. But yeah, and there has the food. It has, obviously the food. Everyone knows about the food. Like here now in Brazil, I'm craving spicy food all the time. That's one thing. Once you go to Mexico, and once you leave, Mexico will ruin you for food, because you'll compare everything to Mexican food and nothing can compare to it. Like now I'm in Brazil and it's like nothing tastes good because I'm dreaming about Brazilian food. And I wish I could go back and experience. I mean, here in Guanajuato, like, see, the women are really nice, really open, but I just felt really paranoid there, because I get a bit of hate there for being white. But I wish I could. Now I'm here in Brazil, I wish I could go back and just go out every single night. But because it's such a paranoid, closed-off city, everybody knows everybody, it made me feel a bit paranoid, like everyone's seeing me and everyone knows me. But these people from Leon, so the best people to meet in Guanajuato, like, small little villages where everyone knows you, are these people from Leon, like more European kind of cities who visit there for the weekend, because then they can let themselves go and they have fun. But every time I approached a woman from Guanajuato, she usually felt a bit like looking over her shoulder. She felt on edge all the time. But these people from Leon, they were amazing, because they're there just for the weekend, just to have fun. So they're not paranoid, thinking, oh, what will people think if they see me with a gringo? That's what they think about all the time in Guanajuato, which is such a big waste. But if you go to small little villages like that, and the best type of people are the people from other cities who come to visit there, like as a tourist, to see the people, so they're ready to have fun. And Guadalajara, I think the next clip is coming up to Guadalajara. Guadalajara to me is probably the best city in the world. I just want to go back and just I was only there for like 2 weeks, and I'm just like, I want to go back because 2 weeks isn't enough. I finally found the nice areas in Guadalajara, like Zapopan, where the rich, beautiful people live. And I was looking around the mall thinking, oh my God, there's stunners here. Like the supermodel type women. And I'm like, I wish I knew about this a long time ago, but it's like a secret. They don't want foreigners going there to ruin it. So if you go there, just don't keep it quiet, don't ruin it. Zapopan in Mexico, in Guadalajara. And I'm like, I was walking on the shopping mall, just like breaking my neck, looking at these gorgeous women every 5 seconds. And I'm like, okay, I've got to come back here. I wish I discovered this 1 year ago, because I was spending 1 year in Mexico, and I just wish that I knew about the Guadalajara and Zapopan and all these places before. And what's it, the beaches or California Sur. I wish I spent like 7 months in Guanajuato City, and if I could go back in time, I would spend no time in Guanajuato, and I would spend all the time in Guadalajara, all the beaches along the coast of California Sur, because everyone's talking about how beautiful those are, and they're more open to foreigners there, because it's more open. It's like not like a closed off city like Guanajuato. But I just loved Guanajuato at first, because it looked like 18th century Spain on Italy, and a lot of people got offended by that. Like, no way, Mexican, we're better than Europeans. Because they're always so angry. They're always trying to compensate for something. I don't care if you're Mexican, you get angry, but, I'm just saying the truth. Because I found a lot of hate, saying, oh, no, don't say that. We're better than Mexicans. We're better than everybody. They have a lot of that. There's a lot of hate. And obviously hate stems from insecurity. So probably they're jealous or something. I don't know. It makes them angry. And even the comments on all around... Maybe because they're next door to America, and a lot of Americans are kind of like coming over there and taking the women, and a lot of them get angry about that, because a lot of them are kind of short as well. Like the average height for Mexicans is kind of short, but they get really angry towards foreigners as well, especially here in Guanajuato. I had a lot of people shouting "F you, gringo" every single week. I would have been okay with it if it was like first time it happened in Mexico City. I was on the train and it heard go. I lived around Latin America and Brazil for like 7 years now, and I've never had that in any other country. But when I was in Mexico City, I had my I was on the train, on the underground train, and I heard "Go home, gringo, F you, gringo." She didn't know I was British, but it's all one and the same, so it doesn't matter, just because I was white. And I was like, oh, just forget about it. She was short, fat, and ugly, so I just thought, okay, she's just angry at herself. It's always the ugly, short ones, angry ones that are like that. You never find the happy, handsome, good-looking, healthy ones that are angry at foreigners. And I'll get back to that later, because Mexico is kind of... I love Mexico, but one thing I've changed about it, you see all this Krispy Kreme... Oxos, it's all like the food is a bit sickly. I think that's why they have a bit of overweight epidemic, and that's why the Mexicans are really angry. Like I'm in Brazil right now, and I'm having juices, and I'm going to the beach every day, and I'm having natural juices every day, and I'm having my yerba mate. I bought a yerba mate when I was there with some ginger and lemon every day, and if I didn't have that, I would have been so sick. I would have been fat and sick, like a lot of Mexicans are. Because all the foods there, they import a lot of foods from USA. Like you walk in the supermarket and you walk in Oxo, and you can't find any natural juice. Whereas in Brazil now, they have juice bars in every single corner. It's still my favorite country to live in. If anyone asked me to live there, I would live there. But you might feel a bit sick unless you're from USA. You might feel a bit sick after a few weeks, because everything is just full of chemicals. You can't find any natural. It's very hard to find any natural food there. Natural. I went hiking just for searching for a supermarket that sold natural juice, because I was craving just some natural juices. But you can only get the natural foods if you're either rich or if you know exactly where to go to, and you got to go home and you got to cook it all yourself. But if you're living on the go like I do, and you haven't got much time, it's really hard to find the natural fruit juices. But that's probably one of the only downsides about Mexico. But obviously, just be intelligent. Just don't go in the store and buy all the stuff around. Look at the labels. Especially in Oxo, they have Oxos everywhere, and 90% of that stuff on the shelf is just poison. It's all chemicals. It's like in USA, it's all the chemicals on the back of the labels. And I think that's why a lot of them doesn't have many supermodels coming from Mexico. a lot of them are kind of podgy and overweight, and I think that's why a lot of them are angry as well at foreigners, because obviously anger comes from within, so they're angry at something, and it's so yeah. But yeah, that's my summary. I've got so much to say, so if you have any more questions, just leave a comment. There's so much more to say.